Have you ever met someone for the first time and felt an immediate connection? Or maybe you've traveled to a new place but felt like you've been there before. What that could be is a deja vu feeling. And what exactly does it mean? Well, Donna Velardi has been on the show before. She's an animal communicator, but has an intuitive and psychic abilities as well that go way beyond animals. And she's here to share what she believes about past lives. Donna, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me back.
All right, before we get into the heart of this, how did you realize you had this special talent?
As a child, I always had feelings on certain things. I always knew what was going to happen before it happened. And my mother was an extremely, extremely gifted psychic.
And we've chatted with you before about pets and their past lives and that type of thing. But we're talking about past lives, but two major things involved in past lives. And you say that's karma and reincarnation.
Absolutely. Those are the two major elements.
Can you define that really for our viewers?
Karma is basically reaping what you sow. It's not a form of punishment, as some people tend to think.
Because there's a saying that goes along with that.
Yes, yes. You don't ever want to wish karma on someone because that's just wishing someone bad.
Okay.
However, what you want to do is know the difference between, bad karma or karma in general and bad judgment.
Okay.
And karma just basically is reaping what you sow.
And when you're talking about reincarnation, we all kind of had past lives?
Yes. And, if that is your belief, yes. We've all had past lives, many, many past lives. Reincarnation basically is when the soul dies, when the person dies, the soul goes on and comes back basically on the physical plane in another body.
Okay, and do we ever remember anything from our past lives?
We can, but it takes some work. It takes some work because there are some things that gets in the way of that happening, such as our current life.
Well, sure, but let me ask you this. You've done this before. Can you tell us anything about your past life?
Yes. One of the simplest ways of determining your past life is you're the best person to do that. And one can take a pendulum. This is the simplest way in doing it. And what I can do is I can actually demonstrate a pendulum, and pendulum could either be metal or it could be a stone. What you do is you anchor your elbow.
And you're over a map right now.
Right now I'm over a map, but for demonstration purposes, I want to ask the pendulum, show me yes. And my yes is an up and down, be still. And then I say, show me no.
I mean, you could tell the direction that it's
Yes.
moving in.
I use the pendulum pretty much almost every day. Please be still. So it responds pretty quickly. And the one thing I do want to point out is that the pendulum brings out your personal intuition.
Okay.
Not someone else's. You're not asking a third entity. This is your intuition, which is why a pendulum is perfectly safe to use. So what I have done is I brought a world map, and you can put it over a continent to say, show me my most recent past life. Right now it's over Europe.
Okay.
And it's saying I'm getting a big no. Right now it's over Africa, I'm getting a big no. South America, big no.
So you're checking all the continents first
Right.
here.
And now I'm over North America and I'm getting a yes.
And I mean, I'm watching this. It's moving a different direction when you go over North America.
I ask it to be still. Now if I go to the map of the United States, because I've done this before, sorry, but it will respond every time. So right now I'm over the state of New York. And it's showing me no. And you could, really kind of pinpoint, and then you can move the map to see if it moves. And now I'm over the state of Ohio, which I'm getting a big yes.
And every time you do this, Ohio is where you get a reaction from?
Yes. And
Wow.
the way that you want to do is ask it, where was my most recent past life? And you could ask other yes/no questions. Was I a man in my most recent past life? Was I a female? And you always ask both questions to make sure that you are getting the correct answer.
And you do get the same response every
Yes,
time? That's
and
so
if you don't
interesting.
have a map, you can ask it, was my most recent past life in the United States? So you don't necessarily need the map, but sometimes it's helpful in determining that.
Let me ask this, do dreams have anything to do with your past
Oh,
life?
absolutely. And how to determine your dreams, from it giving you a message in this lifetime as opposed to a past life dream, is that when you dream a past life, you're dreaming in the period of time. So, for example, the period of time, the dress will be in that period if it was the 1800s, or if you were, say, in Egypt. The other thing is it's like watching a movie.
If you're watching a movie.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the way the feel of the dream is. And then also pay attention to your emotional state in the dream.
And then you can kind of put the pieces together and
Absolutely.
figure out what it
and
might
the
have
other,
been.
absolutely, because the other thing that you want to do is keep a dream, a past life journal. Anytime you're doing this, you want to be able to put the pieces together. It is putting a puzzle together.
Yeah, sure.
And
I'm
each
sure it doesn't
piece-
happen overnight either.
No, it doesn't. It takes a lot of time. And as I said, you're the best person to determine your most recent past life in your past lives in general.
Very good. And Donna, you teach some continuing education courses?
Yes, I do in various towns. I teach in Shelton, Fairfield, Brantford, Hamden, just to name a few.
Pretty interesting stuff. And where can we find you if we need to get a hold of you and learn about our past lives?
I have a website, zodiapet.com, and I will be posting where my classes will be.
Very good, Donna. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Pretty